Okay, so what we're doing here, we're going to wire up an aftermarket car stereo and get it prepped ready for install. I'm going from factory stereos in the car, so I always recommend getting the wiring kit to go to it. That way it saves you a ton of time. It only costs around $5, and it saves you a ton of time going from the factory deck. It eliminates all the hassle of trying to cut the wires up inside the dash and figuring out what ones go to what. So we're gonna do that. I got the stereo harness, the harness for the car, and typically you can just use these little red butt connectors and those work. I usually use the non-insulated ones, just the little metal yellow ones like that, and I'll put some shrink tube on it. I got shrink tube here, so we will work on that. Okay, so I got my first few set, and what I'll typically do, I'll stagger them a little bit so they're not like right perfectly lined up. That way it's not so big and bulky. And then I've got my shrink tube on there, and then oftentimes I'll put one big one over each of those, and then I'll put a bigger one over the speaker one so that they're kind of separate. Makes it a little cleaner. And then they'll be color coordinated on this, so like the yellow will go to yellow, and you know, all that, so that you know you're getting them. That's the other good thing about getting the harness. So I'll go ahead and set that up and be right back at you. Okay, and then once you get them spliced together, you'll just melt the shrink tube with a torch and then go from there. And one thing you might want to know, most of your kits will tell you on the back, they'll tell you, or your stereo will tell you, but a lot of people confuse the red one. They'll think that's just constant power goes to the battery. In most cases it will, but not all cases. On stereos, the yellow wire goes to your battery, and the red wire goes to your ignition switch power wire. So it's just one thing to remember when you are hooking them up. Alright, so got these all wired up for at least the power portion of it, and then I'll slip this shrink tube down over the top, get it all shrunk, and then I will repeat that same process here with the speakers, and they're all color coordinated also, and then after that we'll be ready to install. Okay, so we got it all done. On top of the shrink tube, I also electrical taped it all together so that it's all one nice little piece there. And now we're ready for installation into the car, and we'll be back shortly with that. Okay, so this particular car, 2007 Hyundai Elantra, you just got to pull off this little centerpiece right here. Just pops right out. You just got to get like a screwdriver or something to pop this out with. And then there'll be just 4 Phillips head screws up in there. And that's how you'll do this. On some cars you'll have to replace the whole, you'll have to remove the whole dashboard. But this particular one you just have to, most of them you just replace. You just take this little centerpiece off, just pop it off. I might even be able to get it with my hands. Nope. So that's how you'll do that. Okay, so just pull this out of the way. I have to unhook it up here, or unhook this bottom one, bottom wiring, and then we can flip that up out of the way. I've already had this off, so I took the screws out already. But the screws are just right there, and then 2 down here, and then we'll be ready to slap the new one in. All right, and that's the finished product. Stereo's in, and we're all done. Hope you enjoyed watching. Be sure you give me a like and a subscribe. Check out all my other videos, and let me know what else you want to see. Till next time.